Welcome back. Comair has withdrawn its notice to slash the wages of workers. Union Numsa says this is a victory for workers who've already made huge sacrifices to help turn the aviation company around. Comair, of course, operates domestic flights by British Airways and Kulula.com. It was grounded for 5 days earlier this year by the Civil Aviation Authority after safety concerns arose. To discuss, we're now joined by Numsa spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola. Phakamile, thank you for being with us as always. There was a plan to reduce benefits and the condition of employment. Just tell us what was proposed, how many employees would have been affected if these cuts had gone ahead.
Good evening, Francis, and thank you so much for having me on your show. Indeed, the decision by Comair to withdraw the Section 189 notice is a victory for workers. This was an issue that workers actually picketed over in the month of March when they were highlighting the safety issue when the airline was grounded, and also at the same time raising the fact that whilst this airline is being grounded, the management of Comair is also threatening workers with reducing their benefits and conditions. What Comair wanted to do was to reduce workers' income by 15%. At the same time, medical aid benefits were also going to be reduced. And this decision was going to affect the entire workforce. All 1,300 workers were going to be affected. And as Numsa, when we were engaging with the CCMA on these issues, we argued to the CCMA that Section 189 is not a forum that allows you to negotiate reductions in salaries. That is more to do with restructuring of companies, which sometimes leads to job cuts. What they need to do is actually engage us in wage talks. And this is what we put to the CCMA. And thankfully, the commissioner agreed with us. And of course, Comair then subsequently made a decision to withdraw that Section 189 notice.
Okay, but apparently the wage talks are still coming. So is that going to be tough?
Absolutely. Wage talks are coming up, and Numsa will be making demands in terms of a percentage increase. At this stage, unfortunately, I can't go into details of what that is because we're waiting for them to officially open wage demands, and it will be at that point where we'll present our demands. But our intention really is to get increases for members, particularly because, as you know, Comair has, like many airlines, experienced difficulty as a result of the lockdowns. There was a time when Comair wasn't even flying. And for most of the time, workers were either earning nothing and needed to depend on the temporary employee relief scheme from the UIF, or when they finally were operating for the last year, they've been earning only 70% of their salary. So they've really suffered for more than 2 years with reduced salaries, reduced benefits. At the same time, the entire staffing complement has also been reduced. There have been retrenchments, all in the name of turning the airline around. And workers feel that it is time that the airline gives back. We've seen that it's been operating now for close to 2 years, even though it's still under business rescue. But we believe that it should be in a better position than it was. And we think that we should be in a position to make demands as far as wage increases.
Maybe it should be in a better position, but it was only recently that it was actually grounded for 5 days. So are you really considering the state of the company? I understand that workers have suffered enormously, but long term there could even be concerns about the sustainability of the company, and then everybody loses, including the workers.
Well, this is the purpose of wage talks, is that the company will have to present its rationale and its justification for why it cannot or will not meet whatever the wage demand is that we're going to make in that forum. They'll have to present us with financials to back up whether they indeed cannot afford what we're demanding. So we will obviously argue and be in a better position to make our demands in that forum. But it is our view that the company needs to give back to workers, particularly given that for the last 2 years, employees have made the ultimate sacrifice to turn this airline around.
And I understand what you're saying, but I bring this up also in light of SAA. At the time, we had discussions with both sides. We chatted to you and another union, and there was a very protracted struggle over SAA, and thereafter, both sides claimed victory, but from outsiders, it looked like not much movement had taken place. And then SAA was placed under liquidation, and a lot of people lost anyway. So some are concerned that we just have these very hard labour relations in South Africa, and this isn't only about unions, it's about employers as well, but could there be a bit of give and take this time around?
Well, absolutely, Francis. Wage negotiations are about give and take. They are about workers making compromises and also companies making compromises. And this is why we look forward to that engagement, so that we can see, first of all, what are we dealing with in terms of the state of the company? One of the things that we have vociferously argued against at Comair is this extremely lengthy business rescue process that it's been under. The Companies Act never envisioned a situation where a company can be on business rescue for more than 2 years. And these are some of the things that we want to see an end to. And we believe part of the reason they're still under business rescue is because it gives them a cover to sort of justify why they shouldn't implement increases, even if they're doing well. So we would like Comair to stand on its feet once and for all, because we believe it's reached that point, and we look forward to the opportunity to engage their financials, so that when we make a determination about what our demands are, we can find each other halfway.
All right, thank you very much. Numsa spokesperson Phakamile Hlubi-Majola, and we'll of course follow those wage negotiations to come. For now, Comair saying it won't slash the wages of workers or implement any other cuts in any way.